Hey everyone, so I've gotten the chance to play Star Wars Squadrons for a little while, and I really like it so far. In this video I'm going to go over my first impressions and also what I've done with the key bindings to make it a little bit more similar to Star Citizen. Before I start though, I'm giving away a copy of this game very soon, so be sure to enter that if you want a chance to win. So since I've been playing mostly Star Citizen recently, I'm going to be using that as a comparison. Now they are very different games, since Squadrons is more of a competitive game that also happens to have a campaign, and Star Citizen is more of a space sim, but I know a lot of my viewers are familiar with its flight mechanics, so that's what I'm going to compare to. So flying in this game does feel good, it's just completely different. Instead of flying in a way that kind of obeys physics, where you have to counter your momentum and you drift around a bit, in this game it's basically like you're flying a plane that doesn't have to worry about stalling. This is still taking me a while to get used to, and I still want to overcorrect for turns and turn early to not drift, but yeah, it's just something that this game does differently and I'll have to get used to. Now there is a sort of drift function, but you can only do it when you're boosting in your ship, and it's not the same as going into something like decoupled mode. You can only really adjust your nose a few degrees while you're doing it before you start moving in that direction. The other really big difference is that there's no translational movement in this game, so like strafing up and down or side to side. This is also going to take me a while to get used to, and it feels very strange that whenever I'm shooting a target to be just flying straight at them instead of trying to strafe left or right to dodge shots. You just feel a lot more vulnerable when you're flying straight at someone who's shooting back at you. Overall, I think the flight in this game is pretty good, and you still feel in control of your ship because you can do things like come to a complete stop, but it's very different from Star Citizen. Now in terms of stuff not related to how the ships fly, this game also differs a bit from Star Citizen. So it seems to be built around redirecting your power to different systems of your ship, and also angling your shields in real time if your ship happens to have shields. In Star Citizen, this would probably be something you do before a fight by overclocking your guns, or setting your shields to statically prefer a specific side. In Squadrons though, you're meant to make these adjustments constantly as you're fighting. I really like this aspect and how it adds depth to the combat without being gimmicky like the star cards were from the Battlefront games. Now I think in Star Citizen you'll eventually want to be making adjustments like this on the fly on multi-crew ships when you have someone dedicated to doing it, but Squadron system makes it really easy to do as a solo pilot. I'm working on a more detailed video about these systems and the adjustments you make to them, and I'll have that out in a bit, but the campaign does a pretty good job of showing you how to do stuff as well. So moving on to the campaign, I've done the first two missions, and so far I really liked it. It feels like Star Wars and all the characters seem pretty well done so far, and pretty unique. Also, a lot of the visuals are very cool, even if they're not as photorealistic as the Battlefront games. Even doing these first two missions, there's multiple times where ships jump into battle out of hyperspace as you're fighting, which is very cool to see. Another thing that surprised me though was the difficulty of the campaign. I know it's going to take me a little while to get used to this game and to get good at it, but I was surprised to be somewhat challenged on just the second difficulty setting. There's just a lot of targets and you have to be good at knowing who to go after and when to not slow down. My only gripe so far is that it seems like there's a lot of missiles, and even though you won't be hit by them most of the time since evading them isn't too hard, it just means you have to completely focus on doing so for 10 seconds every time you get locked onto, which was more annoying than anything else. Who knows though, I only have a few hours in this game so far, and like I said, it's been pretty much all positive. So I'm definitely going to be playing through the whole campaign, and let me know if you want to see that on my channel. They'd probably be longer videos, but I could also do it where I just show a little bit of the gameplay and mostly just show the cutscenes and story. Let me know what you think about that in the comments though. So for the last part of this video, I'm just going to show you my key bindings in case you're a Star Citizen player like me and don't want to overcomplicate things if you play both games. So roll was originally on A and D, which was not going to fly with me, so I switched the functions of Q and A and E and D. So roll is now where it's supposed to be, and I have the ship repair button on A and missile on D. I might move these two around, but it's been working fine for me so far. Also, the boost you charge up when you have power diverted to engines is on space by default, so I changed that to shift, just to be similar to afterburner. And then I changed the drift button that you can activate while boosting to space. Another change I made was free look, which I changed from L to Z. I might change this later though, since free look isn't as useful in this game. Especially with the limited visibility of like the TIE fighter cockpit. I don't know how they see anything in this ship. Also Z was some sort of chat wheel, which I think might be useful in multiplayer, so I might rebind that somewhere at some point. But yeah, I think those are the main ones, and I'll probably do an update on this when I've played for a bit longer and I know a bit better what's going to be optimal. So that's about all I have for this video, but remember to let me know in the comments what you think about me going through the campaign in this game. It would be a bit different from my usual more informational content, but I'm really excited about this game and interested in how that could turn out. Remember to enter my giveaway if you want to, and thanks for watching.